Imagine this. You're standing at an ATM, card in hand, ready to withdraw cash for an important payment. You enter your PIN. The screen blinks. And then, transaction declined. Please contact your bank. Your heart sinks. You try again. Same message. You open your banking app. Locked. No access. No explanation. Just a notification telling you to call customer service. For millions of people every year, this isn't a hypothetical scenario. It's a terrifying reality. And the first question that floods their mind is always the same. What did I do wrong? But here's the thing most people don't realize. In many cases, you didn't do anything wrong at all. Your account was blocked not because of something you did, but because of something the bank system thought you might do. Or worse, something it thought someone else might be doing with your money. Today, we're going behind the scenes of one of banking's most misunderstood processes, account freezes. We'll uncover why they happen, what's going on while your money sits in limbo, and most importantly, how you can get your account unblocked as quickly as possible. Let's dive in. So what actually causes a bank to block your account? Banks don't freeze accounts for fun. Every block is triggered by something, a red flag, a pattern, or a regulatory requirement. And understanding these triggers is the first step to avoiding them. First, suspicious activity. Banks use something called transaction monitoring systems. Essentially, sophisticated algorithms that watch every single movement of money in and out of your account. These systems are looking for anything that deviates from your normal behavior. Let's say you usually spend $200 a week on groceries and gas. Suddenly, there's a $5,000 wire transfer to an overseas account you've never interacted with before. To the algorithm, that's a massive deviation. It doesn't matter if it's legitimate. The system flags it as anomalous, meaning unusual or outside the norm. Second, large or rapid withdrawals. If you suddenly withdraw or transfer a significant portion of your balance, especially in cash, the bank system might assume you're either in financial distress, being coerced, or attempting to launder money. Even if you're just buying a car or paying a contractor, the bank doesn't know that yet. Third, unusual locations. Modern banking systems track where transactions occur. If your card is used in Lagos one day and then in London the next, the system assumes your card has been stolen or cloned. This is called geolocation-based flagging, using your physical location to verify the legitimacy of a transaction. Fourth, fraud prevention. Sometimes your account is frozen not because of your actions, but because someone else tried to access it. Failed login attempts, password resets from unknown devices, or attempts to link your account to unfamiliar payment apps can all trigger an immediate lockdown. And finally, regulatory compliance. Banks are legally required to comply with something called AML and KYC regulations. That's anti-money laundering and know your customer. If your account is flagged for not having updated identity documents, or if your transaction patterns match those associated with money laundering or terrorism financing, the bank is obligated by law to freeze your account until they can verify everything. So in summary, your account can be blocked for things you did, things you didn't do, things someone else did, or simply because a computer algorithm decided something didn't look right. Now, let's talk about what happens the moment your account gets flagged. Here's the truth. Most account blocks start with a machine, not a human. When the system detects a suspicious transaction, it doesn't immediately freeze your account. Instead, it generates what's called a case file, a digital report that includes your transaction history, account behavior, recent logins, and a specific trigger that raised the alarm. This case file is then routed to a queue, where it waits to be reviewed by a compliance officer, a trained bank employee whose job is to investigate potential fraud, money laundering, or security breaches. But banks process millions of transactions every day. That means thousands of case files are created daily, and they all need to be reviewed manually. Depending on the severity of the flag, your case might be prioritized, or it might sit in the queue for hours, even days. During this time, your account is placed under a temporary hold. This means your funds are still there untouched, but you can't access them. You can't withdraw, transfer, or make payments. The bank has essentially pressed pause on your financial life. Now, the compliance officer begins their investigation. They'll look at the flagged transaction and why it was flagged, your recent account activity. Are there other unusual patterns? Your login history. Have there been attempts from unknown devices or locations, any notes, or previous flags on your account, and whether you responded to any verification requests from the bank? In some cases, the officer will clear the flag immediately if the transaction is obviously legitimate. In other cases, they'll escalate it to a higher authority or request additional documentation from you. This entire process is invisible to you. From your perspective, your account is just frozen. No explanation. No timeline. Just silence. One of the most frustrating parts of an account freeze is how sudden it feels. You might have been using your account normally for weeks, even months, and then out of nowhere, you're locked out. No warning. No notification. Just a declined transaction and a wall of confusion. Banks don't monitor accounts in real time, one by one. Instead, they use batch processing, a system where transactions are grouped together and analyzed at specific intervals, often overnight. Even if you made a suspicious transaction on Monday morning, the system might not flag it until Tuesday night. By the time the compliance team reviews it on Wednesday, you've already made 5 more transactions, completely unaware that your account is about to be frozen. Additionally, banks receive alerts from central banking systems and interbank networks, organizations that monitor financial crime across multiple institutions. If your name, account number, or transaction pattern matches something on a watch list, your bank might freeze your account immediately, even if they haven't detected anything suspicious themselves. This is called a regulatory hold, and it's often imposed without prior notice because giving you a heads up could allow you to move funds if you were involved in illegal activity. Where's my money right now? The good news, your money is still there. It hasn't disappeared. It hasn't been seized. It's sitting in your account, exactly where it was before the freeze. The bad news, you can't touch it. During an account freeze, your funds are placed in a restricted state. They are visible on your balance, but not accessible for withdrawal, transfer, or payment. Think of it like a vault door temporarily locked. The valuables are still inside. You just can't open it yet. Rarely, funds may be seized if law enforcement or a regulatory body issues a legal order, but this is uncommon. How do you get your account back? The bank will usually ask you to verify your identity and explain the flagged transaction. This might involve submitting a government-issued ID, providing proof of the transaction, answering security questions about your account activity, and confirming your contact information. If your account was frozen due to regulatory compliance, like outdated KYC documents, you'll need to update your information immediately. Once a compliance team is satisfied, they'll lift the hold. Simple cases can be resolved within 24 to 48 hours. Complex ones may take weeks. If your account gets frozen, here's what you should do. Contact your bank immediately. Have your documents ready. Maintain clean KYC records. Avoid unusual activity without notice and stay calm. Cooperating and providing what's needed usually resolves the freeze quickly without long-term consequences. And there you have it. The full story behind why banks block accounts, what happens while you're locked out, and how you can get back in as quickly as possible. It's not a perfect system. It can feel impersonal, frustrating, and unfair. But at its core, it exists to protect you, the bank, and the financial system itself. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing to Simply Explain Systems, where we break down hidden mechanisms behind everyday systems, one topic at a time. Next time, we're diving into another banking mystery, how QR codes and contactless payments actually work, the invisible technology behind every tap. Until then, stay informed, stay curious, and remember, knowledge is the best defense against confusion. See you in the next one.